Fire and Ash is the brand new movie that just hit theaters. The film's co-written and it is directed by one of the most legendary filmmakers of all time, James Cameron. This is the third movie now of, can't believe I'm saying this, over 15-year franchise. This movie takes place directly after the events of 2022's Avatar: Way of Water. As we pick things up with the Sully family, Jake, once again played by Sam Worthington, his wife Neytiri, played by Zoe Saldana, and we're also with the Sully children, which includes Sigourney Weaver as Kiri, Britton Dalton as Loak, Trinity Jo Lee Bliss as Took, and Jack Champion as Spider. In this movie, Spider's having a hard time breathing. He's a human breathing on Pandora. So the Avatar and the Na'vi family are trying to send him back to his people towards the beginning of the movie. But also the Sully family are still mourning the death of their first son who died at the end of Way of Water. But they run into multiple problems throughout the movie. Of course, Quaritch is back, once again played by Stephen Lang, who still has affection for his son Spider, but is still trying to go after and get revenge on Jake Sully and Neytiri. And in order to do so, he gets help from the new villain of the movie of the Fire Tribe, who's played by Una Chaplin, who's also trying to get revenge on the Na'vi people. Some of the human cast, you have Edie Falco back. Edie Falco and Jermaine Clement are back from Avatar: Way of Water, and Giovanni Ribisi's billionaire character is back from the very first Avatar movie. The film's 3 hours and 17 minutes and is PG-13. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinner, where we're talking Avatar: Fire and Ash. If you're new guys to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to notify when my videos hit the channel. Trying to, guys, get to 400 subscribers to start 2026. We're 2 weeks away, and I'm under 20 subscribers away, so it would really mean the world to me for you guys to subscribe, ring the bell. I talk all things. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, Oscar award season videos, box office videos, movie franchise rankings. I do it all. Subscribe so you can follow along with my videos. Comment down below. What are your thoughts, guys, on the Avatar franchise? Don't tell me your ranking. I am going to do a ranking this weekend, but what are your thoughts on Fire and Ash? Were you disappointed? Were you surprised? Do you want to see more films? Do you think this was the good culmination to end things? Let me know down in the comments. And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. So I want to be right off the bat and say this. I am a massive fan of this franchise. The first movie, which I still cannot believe came out now 16 years ago in 2009, because I remember seeing that movie in the theaters, and as a 7-year-old, my mind was blown by the visuals, the 3D, all of that in 2009. And it was amazing. I took almost a decade more to get to the sequel. And I thought, even though I liked Avatar, the first one, I loved Avatar: Way of Water. I've seen it 4 times now, including this week leading into seeing Fire and Ash. And I watched the documentaries for Avatar leading into this. So I was all ready to go back into Pandora for Fire and Ash. And I was a bit skeptical because a lot of people had very lukewarm reviews for the movie, some takes. And I just gotta say, I don't know if if I'm gonna be in the minority, but I thought this movie was honestly freaking awesome. This is, yes, I'll get into some of my issues with the story, but for me, from an epic notion, from an action, from a visual, and sometimes even an emotional point, I thought this movie absolutely nailed what I wanted from the third movie in this franchise. I still am amazed by the visuals in this movie because obviously now we've gone to the Pandora. It looks so real, and obviously the improvements on from the Avatar 2 to 1 was very drastic. And same thing here from Avatar 1 to Avatar 3. Just we've come such a long way with this technology. It just looks so real because now we're not just blending the water and humans, we're also blending in fire and other different things in this movie. And it's just jaw-dropping movie to watch. Like, I think even if you think it's not like the greatest story of all time, you can't really, it's such a well put together movie from a visual perspective, from a production design, cinematography. It's just a jaw-dropping watch of a 3-hour epic. And that's what this movie is. It's trying to be the most epic film of the franchise. I think it is the most epic film of the franchise. I think you do feel like the characters are in more danger in this movie than I would say any other film in the franchise. Just because of the intensity, the villains are a lot more threatening in this movie than they have been in the franchise. And I just think I care about the Sully family. And I thought they did a good job showing you how each of the Sully family members dealt with the death of the oldest child in the last movie. Because Loak, who's the main kid, I guess we'll say, he feels very responsible for his brother's death because he's the one who wanted to go back on that ship to find Spider, and that led to his brother's death. Jake's trying to balance the fact of, was it his own son's fault? Should he be a better father? Neytiri really is kind of broken for the first half of this movie, trying to move on from the fact that she lost a child. And she already lost her. Neytiri is a very complex character in this movie because obviously she lost her son in the last movie. They moved away from their home in the second movie. So she's kind of just feeling very out of place in the world. So I think they did a really good job showing how broken Neytiri is, and the decision she makes is all really because of that. Kiri is really unsure if she's just an outcast, if she's just weird, like what makes her special. She still tries to figure that out during the movie. I thought they did a really good job exploring grief with those characters and how each character is going about it in a very different way, which I thought was a well done follow up to Way of Water. As I said earlier, too, not just is it real, these are real performances. This is not voiceover. This is not animation. This is not a cartoon. This is motion capture. These are real performances, and the acting is so good in these movies. I think it's even better here in Fire and Ash. I think the two best performances by far were Zoe Saldana, as always, as Neytiri, and Stephen Lang as Quaritch. Always my two favorite characters of the franchise, but Quaritch in particular is easily the best part of this movie because you has the human side of him, still cares for his son with the memories of the original Quaritch, trying to still do this mission on getting Jake Sully, but also he's a Na'vi right now, and he's trying to realize, what team really should I be playing for in all of this? And that leads him to finding this new tribe to help him get what he wants. And Quaritch is funny in this movie. He's also extremely dark, very calculated, and you're really not sure what he will do. Very unpredictable character. Really love Quaritch. And Zoe Saldana is such an amazing actress because, as I said, Neytiri does go through a lot, especially in these last two movies with so much loss, and it's truly an acting masterclass when you watch Zoe Saldana on screen. She is amazing as this character. She's still my favorite character of this franchise, and she really is Neytiri. Those are two performances in particular you really can't see any other actor do. The new cast with Una Chaplin I thought was really good. I thought Kate Winslet's character had a lot more to do in this one than she did in the second film, which I thought was good. The score is so breathtaking. The action scenes are just incredible. They're more violent, which I really appreciated. It's very intense. The sweat stains, the blood stains, it just feels so visceral and real. All credit to the people who put this movie together. And I just had, honestly, a blast from this movie from start to finish. Now, on a negative level, this movie is definitely not a groundbreaking story. It's definitely using repetitive story beats that we've seen before in the first two Avatars, like Loak, for example. I thought he was an interesting character at first in Way of Water, but he literally does the same exact character beats and storyline in this movie than he had in Way of Water. The big third act climactic action scene, which is great, definitely feels very similar to the action set piece they did at the end of the first Avatar movie. So there's times this movie can obviously be very cliche at points. You kind of know the direction that the movie is kind of going with it. It definitely feels like old plot points from other movies. But again, there's definitely some flaws in there. Also, the movie does not need to be like 3 hours and 20 minutes. I think you could easily shave 25 to 30 minutes off the movie, make it like a 2-hour 40 film like the first movie was. I don't think it has any business being this long, but I still think Avatar Fire and Ash is an awesome movie. I think if you're a massive fan of this franchise, you're going to really believe and think this movie delivered. I don't think if you're not a fan of the first two Avatar movies, I don't think Fire and Ash will suddenly make you a fan of these movies. But I, as a massive fan of James Cameron and of this franchise, I thought Fire and Ash really delivered. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars, 81% for Avatar Fire and Ash. Let me know your thoughts on this movie down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.